All right, this is the most powerful tool for creating relationships, deepening relationships, especially for you couples. I use this a lot in my practice as a couples therapist, as a husband with my wife. So I'd love to talk a little bit more about contacting. So contacting is essentially imagining, feeling what is the other person's internal emotional experience, right? So if you're having a conversation with somebody, let's say they're talking about a recent loss, my dog died, I'm just feeling really sad or heartbroken about it. Our tendency there is to freeze up, I don't know what to say, get uncomfortable, look away, say some version of like, it's gonna be fine, I'm sure you'll find another dog. Unfortunately, none of those responses are going to be relational and really deepen the connection you have with that person. The best thing you can do in that moment is to imagine how they're feeling. So this is contacting. So you would say something like, wow, I can just imagine how sad you must be having lost your dog. And you can feel I'm like shifting into that gear, trying to imagine what it actually does feel like to lose a dog or someone or something that's close to you. Shifting gears a little bit, let's go to like a different situation you might have. You're talking to a friend, the friend is, talking about, hey, there's this new job possibility. I'm, super stoked about it. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I'm, to the third round of interviews and it's for this big company and it's, something I've always wanted to do. Our tendency at that point is to, ask a lot of questions maybe. I could think of 100 other directions we could go, and instead of going those, I'm just gonna tell you, this is the move. So feel in your heart what that person must feel like, your friend, your bestie, your partner. Wow, okay, they're getting a new job. So as they're talking, that's the part, that's your prime. Like start thinking through like, what are they feeling? Excited. So you say it to them. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. That's, wow, you're like this, you've always wanted to work for these guys. Yeah, and it's a such and so company and this is a big thing for them and they're, here's the possible job opportunity for me, like this is what my role would be. Wow, like this is again me shifting back into contacting. That's amazing. Well, what great news, that's super exciting. Yeah, now we're going back to your friend who's, talking about some of their concerns, right? Like, yeah, but gosh, I know I made it all the way to the third round, but I don't know, and what if it doesn't come through? And I've heard there's like 3 other candidates. So you feel the shift, right? There's this like slight tenor shift for them. So you're gonna go into your mind, into your heart and be like, okay, so what are they feeling now? Worried. Oh man, gosh, that sounds worrisome. Like that would be a little, I don't know, worrisome or like nerve-wracking to know there's a few other candidates out there and to not know how this is gonna go. Yeah, man, totally. Like I feel worried and concerned and I'm just not really sure. So I'm gonna give you a few clues. These are gonna be your nonverbals to look for to see if your partner or the person you're talking to feels understood by you. Another way to say that is, did the contacting land, right? So if the person says some version of, and you just heard me say it, yeah, totally, or like, that's exactly how I feel, or yeah, you got it, like you nailed it. Like if you feel that sense of connectedness, possibly a relief on the part of the other person, the sense of like, we're in this together, right? That would suggest to me that your contacting is going really well. If on the other hand, you see I'll give you some nonverbals, but also verbals, like looking away, or maybe kind of their forehead gets a little bit, smushed up and they're kind of like, or if they go into more explaining mode, like, well, see, it's like, it's the third round and, there's these other candidates and I just don't know, right? If they're kind of going back into like trying to re-explain it to you, that lets you know that you haven't quite contacted the person's feelings. So two options that are coming to my mind right now. That would be to either try again, right? So go back into like, okay, so, how would that be? I'm advancing in the rounds. I know there's other candidates. And then you try to name, again, the word is contact their feelings. That sounds kind of scary, or like, maybe daunting, right? And if the person at that point shifts gears, is like, yeah, you got it, like that's it, or totally, that's when you know, again, the contacting is landing. I'm gonna give you option number 2, which would be to just ask, right? So you might say something like, well, wow, how does that feel to, be third round? Oh gosh, I guess I'm a little unsure, and like, I don't know if I put together a good enough resume, and I heard this one of the guys that's a candidate is like, has all this experience from this other company, and I guess I'm a little nervous about it. At that point, all you do is you just say back to your person, your partner, friend, the exact feeling words they just gave you. Oh, so a little bit nervous, sounds like you're kind of worried, you're feeling a little, uncertain, like did I put the right resume together, put my strongest foot forward, right? At that point, your friend's gonna go, yeah, that's it, even though all you essentially did is reflect the feelings back to them. Let me give you a third example of where I think this can be effective, especially with particularly a coupledom partner situation. It could also be a roommate situation, is with chores. So a lot of times when we're having a conversation, argument, the other person comes to us and says some version of, gosh, I asked you to take the trash out, or do the dishes, or take care of our kid, or whatever it was, the cat, roommate situation again, possibly. The tendency we have at that point is to get defensive, point out the places we have done it. I can think of, again, lots of other not great ways to go, and I've done all of them, so you're in good company. I'm gonna suggest something different. So let's say it is your spouse, comes to you, says, hey, I should take out the trash, and I see the trash isn't taken out. The best thing you can say to them, well, there's actually 2. One of them is contacting, one of them is I'm sorry, right? Because you didn't take out the trash. So you could just say, hey, gosh, sorry about that. The additional step, and this is something that is rarely done, not taught in schools, I think it's an absolute gem, and that's why I'm sharing it with you both in this video, is to say, that must be upsetting, right? So again, you have to kind of pause and think to yourself, how might this other person be feeling, given that I forgot to take out the trash? I bet you're kind of frustrated, right? Frustrating, sorry, I get that you're frustrated, I didn't take out the trash, right? So it takes a lot of practice, I find, to get good at this. It often requires that pause. You're seeing me kind of pause, look up a little bit. I'm kind of looking into my, searching in my brain and being like, okay, where is the feeling? Where's the answer for how this person is feeling? The thing that I'm doing in my brain is I'm trying to put myself in that exact situation. So I've asked that person to do X, Y, or Z, take out the trash, walk the dog, whatever, and they did not do it. How does that feel to me? Frustrated, annoyed, disappointed, bummed out, right? These are the most effective ways to really be with somebody, help the other person feel understood by you, to really, if you think of it as contact, like I'm trying to contact your inner experience, right? What's your emotional landscape? What is the thing that you're feeling right in that moment? That's what I'm gonna try to imagine or feel. And this works everywhere. So whether you're a boss, an employee, a partner, a roommate, a friend, a family member, anything, anytime you hear someone sharing something with you, concerned about something, excited about something, it almost doesn't matter what the situation is. You can just say to them the feeling that they're having inside. Wow, so exciting. Oh, that's terrible, right? This also works if you're, feeling a little bit lost, because you can simply ask them the question, right? You can say to them, oh, so how are you feeling about that? They're gonna tell you, worried, scared, excited, hopeful, uncertain. Just say it right back to them. Like, oh, damn, sounds like you've got a lot of uncertainty. As always, love to hear from you guys. You can reach me right here in the comments. I've got my website, email address. Feel free to reach out directly. Take care.